This video is intended to walk students through the lesson for Unit 4, Day 28, Power and Authority in Absolute Monarchies, with the guiding question, how did absolute monarchs justify their power? The lesson objective is to examine how absolute rulers justified their power. To begin today's lesson, read and think about the following quote attributed to Louis XIV of France. XIV equals Roman numerals 14th. L'État c'est moi. Translated from French, this means, I am the state. This is an example of an apocryphal quote, meaning that it is attributed to Louis XIV. People claim that he said it, but it is not confirmed with evidence that the person said it. However, even if the quote can't be proven to have come from the mouth of Louis XIV, the sentiment, feeling, message of the quote is central to our understanding of absolutism and absolute monarchs. What do you think l'État c'est moi, I am the state, means? Think back to our definitions of the term state from earlier lessons in this unit. Use the blue space below to jot down your thoughts, then share your thinking with your small group. Even for a king, claiming that you are the state is bold. In order to ensure that their subjects, people who they ruled, considered their absolute rule to be legitimate, monarchs had to develop a justification for their total power. Push your thinking one step further by writing a hypothesis, an informed idea based on their prior knowledge, in the response to the following. How do you think absolute rulers, such as Louis XIV of France, justified their power? By justify, we mean what claim or argument did absolute rulers make that their absolute power was legitimate? Write your hypothesis in the blue space provided, then share with your small group. The sentence starter is provided, hypothesis. Absolute rulers justified their power by. Next, for your independent work section of this lesson, you will read the primary source Speech to Parliament by James I. Before you start reading, please think about the hypothesis that you just developed and about how absolute monarchs justified their rule. Read and annotate the text for indications and evidence of the following concepts in the annotation key. Blue, argument for absolute rule. Yellow, reason/evidence in support of absolute rule. After you read the text, organize your annotations using the annotation organizer provided. Take time to carefully read this text and make note of the glossary of challenging vocabulary words and even phrases in Latin that have been defined on the right-hand side. The next video will pick up with working with the annotation organizer.